Namaste and hello everyone. I am Barsha, your Nepali language tutor. Welcome back to Learn Nepali with Barsha. Today this video is on present perfect tense. In this tense, many students are confused. So I will make a detailed description on present perfect tense, which means Purna Vartaman Kal. Purna means perfect, Vartaman means present, tense means Kal. Purna Vartaman Kal, which means present perfect tense. Before learning about present continuous tense, we should have basic idea on transitive and intransitive verb, changes of subjects according to the transitive verb. Finally, using conjugation table in the three categorization of verb, they are two-letter verb, half-letter verb and unu verb. I will teach you these all things in details.
Today's lesson is on present perfect tense, which means Purna Vartaman Kal. Before knowing this tense, we should have basic idea on what is transitive and intransitive verb, how the subject changes, and the conjugation rule for singular, plural, and feminine subject. I will explain each topic in details. First, let's move on to the what is transitive verb and what is intransitive verb. So, transitive verb are those verbs which does not make sense on its own in a sentence and requires an object. If the verb which do not make sense without an object is transitive verb. It gives the example of what question. For example, eat, khanu, what, momo, chao chao, dal bhat. Similarly, cook, pakaunu, what, dal bhat, chowmein, pasta, watch, hernu, what, movie, which is film or chalchitra in Nepali. So all the transitive verbs takes an object to make a complete meaningful sentence. Similarly, intransitive verb is the exact opposite of transitive verb. It does not require any object to make a complete action in the sentence. And this kind of verb does not answer the what questions. For example, sleep, sutnu, what? You do not have any answer of what question. Go, janu, what? No answer. Wake up, utnu, what? You can't answer any what questions for this kind of verb. So these verbs are known as intransitive verb. Now, pronounce changes while using with transitive verb. Before, I have told you the second thing we need to know before learning present perfect tense is knowing the change of subjects. So subject changes only when used with transitive verb in present perfect tense. For example, ma changes to maile, timi changes to timile, हामी changes to हामीले, तपाईं changes to तपाईंले, वहाँ उहाँ changes to उहाँले उहाँले, ऊ changes to उसले. Similarly, we haven't shown any changes of yo and त्यो, but you can change this as yo यसले and त्यो त्यसले. Uni and tini, here we have used uni and tini for C subject as C. So uni changes to unle. Similarly, you can change tini as tinle. Uniharu, uniharule. So you need to change all the subject given here into the मैले, तिमीले, हामीले, तपाईले, वहाँले, उहाँले, उसले, उनले, उनीहरूले form while only using with transitive verb. Please make a note, we change the subject only with the transitive verb, not with the intransitive verb. So now let's see some of the example of transitive and intransitive verb. Transitive verb, to play, खेल्नु, खेल्नु, to cook, पकाउनु, पकाउनु, to watch, हेर्नु, हेर्नु, to read, पढ्नु, पढ्नु, to listen, सुन्नु, सुन्नु, to clean, सफा गर्नु सफा गर्नु to help मद्दत गर्नु मद्दत गर्नु Intransitive verb to go जानु जानु to sleep सुत्नु सुत्नु to walk हिड्नु हिड्नु to live or to stay बस्नु बस्नु to cry रुनु रुनु to laugh हाँस्नु हाँस्नु to wake up or to stand उठ्नु उठ्नु So you can practice this transitive and intransitive verb in present perfect sentences and remember use subject plus lay with all the transitive verb in the sentences. Now here is the final conjugation table of present perfect tense. Here pronouns, change the pronouns adding lay if the verb is transitive. You can use the object. Here is the main verb, the perfect tense conjugation and the positive and negative helping verb. If you are confused between helping verb, please watch my previous video so that you will have clear concept on helping verbs. So let's make sentences using this conjugation table starting from ma. Ma, object is school, main verb is janu, perfect tense is eko, helping verb positive is chu and negative is chaina. Here ma is singular subject, so this is the third rule. In singular subject we use the eko form. Singular subject eko form, chu and chaina. And here janu is intransitive verb, so we will not use maile, we will use ma in the sentence. Ma janu plus eko gaeko. Here you can see nu is removed and eko is added, but the changes is irregular, so janu verb always changes to gaeko in the perfect tense. Ma school ma gaeko chu. Ma school ma gaeko chu, which means I have gone to school. Ma school ma gaeko chaina. Ma school ma gaeko chaina, which means I have not gone to school. Let's move on to the second example using timi conjugation. Here timi is also singular subject, so we will add eko as a perfect tense conjugation. And we are using here leknu verb, which is half letter verb. In my previous video I have constantly said we are dividing verb into different categorization, but as for me I have divided the verb into only 3 categorization: 2 syllables verb, half letter verb and unu verb. If you are again confused in these 3 categorization of verb, please watch my previous video and the link is given in the description below. So let's see how the conjugation is done in the half letter verb. Timi, the subject. Leknu plus eko. Here leknu is in typing font. Please do not get confused. Here is le, half ka and nu. It is typing form, so the leknu is combinedly shown here. Leknu plus eko. Here nu is removed and here you can see half ka. Whenever half ka and vowel combines together, half ka changes to full ka and a changes to symbol. The vowel changes to symbol. And again I repeat, if you don't know what is vowel and what is symbolical vowel, please watch my previous video so that you will be again clear about these changes. Leknu plus eko. Nu is removed, half ka plus a, half ka changes to full ka and a changes as a symbolical form, which is above the ka becomes k and ko. Le ke ko. So here is the changes of half letter verb. Example with leknu. Let's see this in the sentence. Timile kapima lekheko chhau. Timile kapima lekheko chhau, which means you have written in notebook. Timile kapima lekheko chainau. Timile kapima lekheko chainau, which means you have not written in notebook. Next, हामी. Object khana, Main verb khanu. Again here comes two syllables verb khanu. We are adding perfect conjugation eka. Now here you can see hami is a plural subject, so we are using perfect conjugation eka. This rule is not followed while speaking, but while writing or in the book or in the formal any text you can see the rule followed. But while speaking it's not mandatory to follow this rule. You can skip this rule and just add echo. But whenever you read a book or whenever you read any formal articles or any text, you will find this rule followed in the written form. Hami. Khanu plus echo, this is two syllables verb, so we are just removing nu, and khanu plus echo, the final form is kha eka, because hami is plural subjects again. I repeat. Let's see in the example. हामीले खाना खाएका छौं. हामीले खाना खाएका छौं. We have eaten food. हामीले खाना खाएका छैनौं. हामीले खाना खाएका छैनौं. We have not eaten food. The negative form of present perfect tense is widely used in Nepali society and by the local people, so I recommend you to remember or memorize this conjugation table of positive and negative both. Tapai, object is patrika, which means newspaper. Main verb is parnu, which means to read. Here comes again half letter verb. Nu bhayeko, the perfect tense, cha and chaina. Okay, let's see the changes here. Tapai, parnu plus nu bhayeko. Okay, here because we are adding parnu plus nu bhayeko, so the changes is not as before, but rather here we are removing one nu and adding the incoming nu and forming parnu bhayeko. We are removing nu from the root verb and adding the incoming nu and becomes the parnu bhayeko. तपाईले पत्रिका पढ्नु भएको छ. तपाईले पत्रिका पढ्नु भएको छ, which means you have read newspaper. तपाईले पत्रिका पढ्नु भएको छैन. तपाईले पत्रिका पढ्नु भएको छैन, which means you have not read newspaper. Similarly for waha uha, the conjugation of perfect tense is same as tapai. Here I have used chalchitra as object, which means movie. The direct translation of movie in Nepali is chalchitra, but some people also say film for movie in Nepal. So hernu, to watch. Waha uha, he or she for respected form, higher form. Hernu plus nu bhayeko hernu bhayeko. Uhale नयाँ चलचित्र हेर्नु भएको छ. उहाँले नयाँ चलचित्र हेर्नु भएको छ. Here नयाँ means new. We have learned this word in the opposite word session. He has seen a new movie. उहाँले नयाँ चलचित्र हेर्नु भएको छैन. उहाँले नयाँ चलचित्र हेर्नु भएको छैन means he has not seen a movie. Okay, let's do for u, yo, tyo. Here I have used object as chitra, which means drawing. Banaunu means to make. Eko cha, chaina. So here comes the unu verb, which is the third categorization of verb. So let's see how change occurs in this kind of verb. U. Banaunu plus eko. Whenever you are adding eko in the unu form, you remove the unu and you welcome or you add the eko, incoming eko, and finally the changes becomes banaeko. Okay, now here you might have question. In before verb we are just removing nu, but why we are removing unu in this case? Because unu, here is u the vowel, and eko, here is a the vowel. So in a single verb, two vowel cannot exist together. So we are removing unu from the verb, root verb, and welcoming and or adding eko in the verb, and the final verb is banaeko. Banaunu plus eko, banaeko. Many students get always confused in the unu verb conjugation of present perfect tense. So always remember unu plus eko. Unu is cut down and final is बनाएको. And if you are confused why, you can just remember in a verb there cannot be two vowel, or two vowel cannot exist in a single verb. Okay, let's see the example. उसले राम्रो चित्र बनाएको छ. उसले राम्रो चित्र बनाएको छ. He has made a good drawing. उसले राम्रो चित्र बनाएको छैन. उसले राम्रो चित्र बनाएको छैन. This means he has not made a good drawing. Now let's see the example for uni tini. Here uni tini is used for feminine. So for feminine, the perfect tense conjugation is eki, even though here is singular subject, but it's a feminine singular subject, so we are adding here eki. Again, I say this rule is not mandatory while speaking, but you can find this rule followed in the all textbooks or in the formal articles or formal any text you will read in the future days. So for speaking part, it's not necessary to follow this rule, but while writing I recommend you to follow this rule. Uni tini, okay, here kinmel, which means shop. Garnu means to do. And eki, the perfect tense conjugation. Chin and chainan. Let's see the change here. Uni tini, garnu. Kinmel is the noun. Garnu is the actual verb. So here garnu is the half letter verb. Again comes the half letter verb. Okay, let's see how the half letter verb conjugation occurs in the present perfect tense. Okay, let's see here. Garnu plus eki, uni and tini is singular feminine subject. So we are adding here eki. So garnu plus eki, here nu is removed, and again up you can see it's a half raw sound. So half raw plus a, whenever half letter combines with a vowel, the half raw changes to full raw, and vowel exists as a symbolical form. So garnu plus eki becomes gareki. Because nu is removed, half raw and vowel, half letter changes to full letter, and vowel exists as the symbolical form. So garnu plus eki, gareki. Let's see in the example. उनले बजारमा किनमेल गरेकी छिन्. उनले बजारमा किनमेल गरेकी छिन्, which means she has done shopping in a market. उनले बजारमा किनमेल गरेकी छैनन्. उनले बजारमा किनमेल गरेकी छैनन्, which means she has not done shopping in a market. Here किनमेल गर्नु is transitive verb, so we are adding le in the uni. So uni plus le, unle. So here again I repeat, if you are confused why kinmel garnu is transitive, you can ask what question, what? It might be vegetables, tarkari, fruits, falful, or clothes, luga. So kinmel garnu, if you ask a what question, you can have a multiple answers which can reply what question, or which can answer the what question. So every verb that answers the what question is a transitive verb, and in that case we need to change the subject, adding le in the subject itself. So uni is changed here into unle. Okay, I think now it's the last one. Yes, uniharu. Okay, uniharu. Uniharu here is no object because nidaunu is the main verb, which is the intransitive verb. Nidaunu means to sleep or to fall asleep. So nidaunu what? You can't answer this one, so it is intransitive verb. So uniharu. Okay, now let's change of the subjects. Uniharu is the plural form, so in plural form we are adding eka as a perfect tense conjugation, and chan and chainan for the positive and negative helping verb part. Okay, let's see. And nidaunu is an intransitive verb and unu verb as well. So nidaunu plus eka, nida eka. Unu is removed, eka is added, and nidaeka. And why again? Because u and a, two vowels, cannot exist together in a single verb. Okay, let's see in the example. Uniharu nidaeka chan. Uniharu nidaeka chan, which means they have fallen asleep. Uniharu nidaeka chainan. Uniharu nidaeka chainan. Yes, really, are you guys asleep? I hope you are not. Uniharu nidaeka chainan, which means they have not fallen asleep. They have not fallen asleep. उनीहरू निदाएका छैनन्.
That was all about present perfect tense. This video might be pretty long, but this is very important tense as well. So all the serious learners are requested to learn this tense properly so that it will be easier in so many conjugation and so many grammar structures later on. If you have any problem, any questions regarding present perfect tense, please leave a comment below. I hope this video was useful for you. Please do not forget to give like, and if you are a new viewer on this channel, please do not forget to subscribe it so that you can stay connected with us for further more videos, and do not forget to share it with your friend as well. Thank you. Namaste.